Hi everybody, Greg here, and in this week's weekly video, what I want to talk to you about is forgetting the noise. Now that's a slightly misleading title, because I don't want us to forget about noise, because it's really important that we're aware and take care of our noise. But what I want to do is just remind you that our mental skills are not just about noise. So I want to go back and remind you of something that I shared, I think it was last year, possibly the year before, about a driver who many years ago asked me whether or not what I did was a subtractive or additive process. So is it about not doing stuff? Is it about doing stuff? And the answer is it's both. But there is a split, and we have to do the first thing so we can do the second thing. So about 60%, I reckon 65% of what we do is we're stopping the noise. We're doing the stuff that gets us out of our own way. Because as I said recently, it's not about ability, it's about your ability to deliver. And this is where we notice, when our noise is high, our skill is low. When our skill is high, our noise is low. So we've got to get out of our own way first. And this is why a lot of the time we're looking at how do we control the organism, bring down the noise, create this calm. And that's why through this first section of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 process, it's all about creating a calmness. Because when I'm calm, I've got low mental noise. So that's why we spend a lot of time looking at the calm element of it. But let's forget about the noise for a moment, because this other 40% is really, really important. So sometimes I'll speak to a driver or rider and we'll be talking about what processes they've been putting into practice on the race weekend. And sometimes I hear that it's just all about stopping the noise, and there's been very little state setting, if you like, this 40% at the other end. Or it's been all the 40%, all the state setting, without taking care of the noise. So what is this 40%? So this 40% is what we call generative change, or this additive process. So when we look at subtractive and additive, subtractive is getting out of our own way. Additive is taking what you already do and helping you to do it better. Okay, so we get 60-40 split. This 40% is really where we start to look at visualizing, state setting, making sure that we're actually maximizing our performance and not just stopping the noise. So we've got to think about this 40% that it's just as important as this 60% of stopping the noise. I really want to make sure the right version of me shows up at the right time and I get the best out of my performance. I get the best out of my track time. I get the best out of my state. I am the right driver or rider at the right time. It's not about the noise. Yes, that affects this. And we can do that without doing this, but we're not getting that additional benefit. So I want you to, over the next few weeks, if you're out racing, bring down your noise. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're creating this calm. But let's not forget this bit here that gives us a real advantage when we go racing. This 40% is our visualization. It's making sure that we're getting the best out of ourselves. We're fast out of the box. We're maximizing our time on track. It's the swish. It's helping us to make changes quickly. It's helping us to improve our performance. It's spinning feelings. It's taking good feelings and making them even better. It's all about making sure that I'm the best version of myself when I go out to perform. This part is making sure that I get out of my own way. And now I'm out of my own way, I can perform, let me perform at my very, very best. Many of you know I talk about ego states sometimes and about how we've all got kind of different versions and different personalities of ourselves for different situations and different environments. And we want to make sure at this end of the process, I'm the very best version of me. I'm that version of me that when I go out on track, and I can think back, you think back through your racing career, you can go, yeah, that guy. And when I was that guy, and when I was that version of me, when I was fast, smooth, focused, I could feel the flow, everything seemed easy, nothing bothered me. That version of you, that's who we want when you go out on track every single time. So When I say forget about the noise, I don't mean forget about the noise. What I mean is it's not just about noise. There's this 40% that's about generative change and about helping us to take what we already do and do it better. And when we think about our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 process, we can see that sort of switch over in the middle when we get to the sort of notes and information section. The 1 and the 2, yeah, that's that subtractive process. I'm taking care of the noise, I'm taking control of the organism. And then the second half of it, well, that's making sure that now that I am ready to perform, I'm the best version of me that goes out on track. So think about your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 process. Pay equal attention to all parts of it because every single part is just as important. We can't take for granted that we've got no noise. We can't take for granted that the right version of us is going to turn up. We have to go through the whole thing. We have to give it all equal attention to make sure that when that time comes, I'm the right version and I'm ready to go out and perform at my very, very best. So don't forget the noise. Actually, a better description of this would be remember the additive process. Remember the 4 and the 5. Remember that generative change that makes you a better version of you. So any thoughts, any comments, any questions about that, just let me know and I'll speak to you in the next video. Take care. Bye.